it's Friday afternoon in Sydney, and that means it's time for Friday Beers with Marc and Stuart. I'm Stuart Roberts.
I'm Mark Kenneth, and finally, Stu,
we're out of lockdown.
we're back.
Back in the old watering hole after 3 months of being locked away by our tyrannous premier, like the rest of the country, right?
She's going now, though, right? We made sure of that.
It's so good to be back. Now, viewers, we want to promise that now that we're back together in our old haunts, we're going to be funnier. Because frankly, we weren't like funny for the last 3 months, right?
Drinking beers over Zoom just
Doesn't cut it.
It doesn't cut it. It's
Right.
This is a lot better being back here in the pub. It's still quiet here, but yeah, we're still people are slowly coming back from the office. So back to the office. So the pub is still a bit quiet, but I think it was never really busy in our little pub. So,
No.
Anyway,
Okay, and now, Mark, we've got a new game we're going to play to celebrate getting out of lockdown.
name that stock.
Okay, tell us the rules of Name That Stock.
It's really simple. I'll describe Jeopardy style stock to you, and you need to guess what stock I'm talking about.
Okay, and if I get it right, what happens?
You get a shot.
Okay, right. All right, go for it.
It's 2 each. I'm not sure if we have a prize for the winner.
Right.
Whoever gets the most right. But,
I'll give you a couple of beers if you...
Right, okay. Is that the prize? All right, hang on. So, company number one.
Okay.
Stock number one. So, you get a shot.
Yeah, I like to mix my rum with my beer together.
It's beer with a rum chaser.
We've been locked down for a long time, Mark.
You have been drinking, right?
Right. Is the Pope Catholic?
Careful. There you go. So I'll take this one. You take that one.
All right, what's my question?
It seems like you're stalling, Stu. You're afraid of this question? Right. Here we go. This stock, which is currently suspended because of a strategic deal they're doing, is probably the biggest laggard in the copper space. So by the time it comes out of suspension, this one is probably going to make a big jump. Which stock is it?
It is Stavely Minerals. All right, I give up. What is it?
No, come on.
You
missed the copper.
It's Copper Mountain Mining.
No.
Okay, I give up. What is it?
It's Copper Mountain Mining is not suspended, is it? So this one is suspended.
Okay.
We actually spoke about it the other day.
Right.
The third and final try. If you get it wrong, no shot for you.
Okay. I think it's Oz Minerals.
It's New Century Minerals.
Right.
Resources.
Okay.
NCZ.
Right.
So this one's been suspended. They're doing a strategic deal.
Okay.
Copper price has shot up. It's now at 470 or whatever it is.
All right.
So this one is it's probably going to spike when it comes back on, which is expected before the 28th of October.
Patrick Walter has done an outstanding job building the foundation of New Century, which is a reboot of the Century Zinc mine in Queensland. Doing quite well because of the zinc price, but obviously they've got some more stuff on the boil, which they can tell us about shortly.
All right. Well, we'll see in a couple of days.
Okay. So, now it's your turn, Mark.
All right.
Ready?
Be gentle with me.
Okay. Which stock am I? I'm named after an island in Indonesia.
In Indonesia?
Right.
You know, there's 22,000 islands in Indonesia, right?
Yeah, but this is a big one.
All right. Is it Java? Java Resources? Sulawesi Resources?
Well, I'll give you a clue. It's a top 100 company, and they're named after an island in Indonesia.
Shoot. That's not it. Shoot.
Your people used to run Indonesia for a long time. You should know this.
What do you mean, you people? That's so racist.
Yeah, that's what the Indonesians thought.
Sulawesi. No, it's not Sulawesi. Java. Bali. No.
You give up yet?
Hang on.
You Dutch people don't give up easily.
See, I'm not good with top 200 companies. I'm more of a micro-cap guy. So.
Okay, you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Right. It's BHP Billiton. Billiton is an island in Indonesia. You might know it as Billiton. But there was a...
No, I don't know it at all.
All right, your turn, Mark.
If it said BHP, all right. It's going to be like that, huh?
Mm. Come on, give it to me, baby.
All right. Name this stock.
Right.
So this company is actually on our watch list.
Okay.
And if you're a subscriber to Stocks Down Under, you can access the watch list. That's stocks that we keep a close eye on. They're not yet on our topics list, but it's a watch list stock. So This one is set to rebound strongly once elective surgeries come back on Australia-wide.
Okay, I think it's Paragon Care, PGC.
You got it.
Okay,
All right.
your health mark.
Cheers. I'm expecting a simple one for me as well now, right? BHP.
Okay, I'm going to make it easy for you. So who am I? I'm a top 100 company.
Again?
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm in the tech space. And I was founded in Auckland, in Wellington, I should say, by a guy named Rod.
Does it have to do with accounting?
It may or may not be involved in the accounting space.
What kind of answer is that? Can I buy a file? Is it zero?
It's zero.
That's more like a question for me.
Okay, so it's a tie here at Name That Stock. We got one each.
We don't do ties. No. We do suspenders, though.
Right, of course, yeah. Now that we've had a bit of fun, it's time to go make the lives of some of our subscribers a little easier. So it's time for... from Dominic from Epping. And Dominic from Epping has written, Dear Marc Stuart.
Does he have a last name or an initial?
Dominic P.
Dom
from Epping.
All right.
And Dear Marc and Stuart, really enjoying the publication. I just got a promotion at work. I'm now in charge of my organisation.
Right.
And around about the same time, my wife and I discovered we were pregnant with our 7th child.
Seven.
Yeah, seven. So well done, Dominic P. and...
Who has the 7 kids anymore? 7?
Dominic P. and his wife. Okay, so he says, now I've got a problem. I've now got to put some stocks into the trust fund for baby number 7. Look, I actually have a few ideas. A guy at Mass told me I should buy PushPay, for example. Meantime, I've got the inside knowledge from some of the companies that will do well out of unlocking the state of New South Wales.
How does he have the insights?
Well, yeah,
we need to talk, Dom, offline. We'll give you a call.
Anyway, over the kitchen table last night, my wife and I got into a bit of an argument. She wanted some more conventional plays from some of the risky stuff that I wanted to put in the portfolio. What do I do to keep us both happy and look after baby number 7? Okay, what advice have we got for Dominic P?
Well, probably start off with buying some Ansell to prevent baby number 8. Probably a good idea.
Now, what do you think of the idea from Mash on PushPay?
Yeah, that's probably good. It's very it's a religious play almost.
Right.
Because they're used in churches, especially in the US,
so
you can do that. But coming back to Ansell, don't buy that on the ASX. Buy that at the pharmacy, right? Just for baby number 8. But look at the usual suspects. Baby bunting would be a good one.
Baby bunting's Dominic and his wife probably know baby bunting. And so you'd know, Dominic, that basically they have cornered the market. I call them the Bunnings of baby type products. And when you're in the game for about 10 years, so the customer base becomes fairly loyal through the journey.
So this guy Dom is in the market for 70 years. 7 babies, type 7.
Like in 10 years, from typical family size, but from when you start to when the kid gets to go to school, is where you're in that range. Dominic might be in there for slightly longer as a more loyal customer,
just a little bit.
But it's fair to say the growth profile is quite strong because they've driven just about everyone else out of the game who's involved in baby products. So that's a good one.
So you got PushPay, Ansell, baby bunting. What else?
A2 milk. Obviously, the baby powder, depending on whether they want to breastfeed or not.
Fonterra.
Or Fonterra. Any of those dairy stocks would be an obvious
one.
What
would be really interesting, though, and this is what we need to talk to Dom offline, is about that opening up, because Transurban could be interesting.
Okay, so, depending on what Dom knows. If you've been on one of the toll roads in Sydney lately, you'll know that the traffic is up markedly. So business is brisk at Transurban.
Yeah. So we got Dom's email and phone number, so we'll chat. Dom.
Yeah. So crack open the Dom.
All right. So, Stu, we've had a number of bets over the years.
Okay. Must you bring that up, Mark?
I must, because First of all, I'm still owed for bet number 2,
Right, okay.
which I think we're about to
for the viewers who came in late, remind them what bet number 2 was.
Yeah, that was the election in the US last year.
Right.
Biden versus Trump.
Biden versus Trump. I backed Trump and I lost, yeah. It was stolen from me, quite frankly.
Well, you're still counting, right? So, but I think we're about to settle that one in some nice restaurant somewhere.
Right.
But then there's another one that we've got, which is Bitcoin. So
right.
I said a little while ago that Bitcoin would see $200,000 before it saw 10,000.
Yep.
So it came down to 30 or whatever. Spiked up again, came down a bit, but now it's at 67,000 following the start of ETF trading in cryptocurrency in the US.
And China's decision to ban
that was really short-lived. It was it came down $5,000 per Bitcoin and spiked right back up.
I mean, this shows you that Bitcoin's got some momentum.
Absolutely.
That would-be financial superpower that can't stop the onward march.
Exactly.
And throw in the meltdown of Lebanon as well is going to persuade a lot of people that sovereign currencies are not worth the paper they're printed on.
Exactly. Plus, and this is really important, inflation is coming back.
Right.
And if you look at the new section on our website, which is open for everyone, we wrote a little bit about inflation there, and that it's not transitory, a much hyped word these days. But it means, and this is interesting, I think, an interesting one for Conan, is gold might make a comeback as well. Right. So here we go with...
we haven't left a closing date as to when to close out on the beers, but if it either hits 200,000 on Bitcoin...
There's no end date.
Okay, but either 200,000 or 10, whichever it goes to first, it determines the outcome. Now, gold has been trending back since the middle of last year. The peak was the period in the US with a lot of disorders in the major American cities. It crossed over 2,000 an ounce at that time. Headed back, it's now about now under 1,800 an ounce. Now, I'm seeing it curve out a bit. As you say, the world is printing a heck of a lot of money to float its way out of this mess that we're in.
Yeah.
And gold, as I like to say, it's the original cryptocurrency. It's like Bitcoin only for 10,000 BC, since 10,000 BC. So a lot of people who wouldn't know how to access a Bitcoin will still be socking away gold in the safe in their backyard. Now, so I'm predicting that before too long, gold will be back over 1,800, headed for 2,000 again, and then beyond. It's not unreasonable to see.
When you say beyond, what do you mean?
10,000. Medium term, let's go for 2,500. Then maybe.
And what's the medium term? 2 years or?
Next 2 years, I predict we'll see a 2,500 an ounce gold.
And why would we go to 10,000?
Well, ultimately, that's the price you'd restore a kind of gold standard for.
Right.
That the historical average that's tended to prevail would average it at about 10,000, given the amount of paper that's out there.
Right.
Now, it might take some sort of a crisis to get there, but I think that's coming one of these days. Now, in that environment, gold stocks are going to do well. It's been a tough environment for a lot of gold plays. The one we singled out yesterday in resources stocks down under is Bardock Gold. I like Bardock. We're talking 3 million ounces, only 40 kilometres north of Kalgoorlie. Can you believe that large a resource that close to a major population centre out in the goldfields, the eastern goldfields of Western Australia? Right. That just shows you how clever we're getting on the exploration front these days. Now, they had a definitive feasibility study. We wrote about it September last year and put 2 stars on it just because gold was trending back. We're now taking the view that gold will eventually bottom out around about where it is now. On top of which, the definitive feasibility study, slightly optimised, is showing this project is worth in excess of $500 million. So it's quite a valuable offering. But the company's putting the development on hold while it waits for the cost base of the outrageous kind of labour situation you get in Western Australia, where there's shortages of everything, before they make a final investment decision on the mine.
All right. When is that expected?
I mean, ask the state premier when he allows new labour to come into the state. But
2025 then.
Are you listening, people in Western Australia? You've got to vote that tyrant out before things get really out of control. Here's a mine that's not going ahead because it's too expensive to do it. Now, in the meantime, there are other strategic alternatives. They just build out the resource a bit more. They engage in M&A activity, whatever. So we're calling Bardock Gold. We've switched it from 2 stars to 4 stars. I think that Conan and his fellow gold bugs need to go and look at these mid-sized resource opportunities. In the case of that one, you can get it for only about $30 to $40 per resource ounce, which is tiny in this game.
All right, excellent. All right, Sue, I noticed that we don't have nuts on the table. You had one job.
To get the nuts.
To get the nuts.
Well, I did. Look at it. It's called Red Nut.
Red Nut?
From Ben Spug.
Oh, now, right, okay.
You've heard the quote before. I'll say it again. Can any good thing come out of Canberra? Well, there's at least one good thing. It's the Benspoke Brewery in Braddon in the ACT. Anytime you go to Canberra, first place you've got to go to is the Benspoke Brewery. This is the best drinking, probably in the entire country as far as craft beer goes. In Canberra, of all places.
I'm wondering how they got the name. Was that
I think that a lot of people like cycling down in Canberra. It's just a beautiful outdoors kind of.
Some guy fell off his bike. Ended up with.
You would fall off your bike if you drank too much of that. This is 7% alcohol by volume beer in this case. Now it's called Red Nut because they're using reddish malts. So if you were to pour it into the glass, you'd see it was quite red colour. What interests me is the hoppy aspect of it. 56 on the IBU. That's outrageously hoppy, and they've chosen some really interesting hops. East Kent Golding is in there. Now that tends to make it boring. That makes it taste like an English ale if you have too much of that. But they've whacked in things like the usual standbys from America, Citra and Amarillo to balance against that. Then they've whacked in something called Fortnite, which is a mixture of 5 different kinds of...
It's a game, right?
Well, they've named it after the game, presumably because it really packs a punch.
Right.
They're taking a lot of Yakima Valley hops and then merge them into one big hop developed right here. So there's something for everyone in this beer. Now, tell me what you thought.
I like it. Yeah. And I also like Benspoke have a way with the designing their cans as well. Right. I like it. Yeah.
But basically, this is the first tourist. Before you go to go to the War Memorial first to one of the boys who didn't make it back. Then go to this brewery. And leave Parliament House till last.
Sure. Yeah, really good. That's all we have time for, I think.
Yeah.
So it's good to be back.
Thanks for sticking with us through lockdown. And if in lockdown you didn't do yourself a favour or your portfolio a favour and subscribe to Stocks Down Under, you know what to do.
Do it now.
See you in a fortnight's time.
Happy investing.